And we're off in week number 5. And that's a great sign. You'll have bad luck. How does that make you feel when you see that from the uncle as you're getting ready to leave? Oh, the hammer in Link's house. That's a good start because that's not what the uncle's going to give you. So whatever he gives you is immaterial at this point.
I think what you want to see if you start with hammer or any of the weapons at that point, like sword, is you just want to see Uncle have bombs, because then you don't even have to worry about getting the bomb drop.
Absolutely, because you got your stable weapon here. So, as you point out, now you don't have to worry about killing anything except for the 4 required enemies during this entire escape procedure. What does the uncle have? Uncle has the bombs. There you go.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing both runners extremely happy at this point. Have a nice weapon except for the hitbox, but have bombs for not only just the back of escape, but you have it for all the Kakariko as well.
There's $20 to go towards the Kakariko price or buying club or whatever shopping club you want to put yourself into.
Kind of depends what the bottle vendor has. Maybe he's just a rip-off merchant today.
EmoSaru, first one into the castle, just slightly ahead of gamercal, as at this point, what is the frames of a lead doesn't really matter. It all comes down to how these runners will be shaping up in about an hour and a half. As right now, EmoSaru is going to go ahead and tackle a couple of the guards just to get them out of the way, because not the greatest of RNG just to hug that wall for the pumping that normally you see from the runners at this position. All right, both of them squishing that guard flat and getting the key.
And getting another key.
Yeah, that means that we just have the map as the last of the dungeon items here. Otherwise, it's all items from here on out. Both of these runners are very good at this game. They know the mechanics. gamercal's made some tutorials about some of the game mechanics, including like the water dashing and things like that. So both of these runners, they know this game. They know how to play this game. We're going to have some execution. This is going to be an execution exhibition for these runners. So there's another $20 to go towards the Kakariko buying wallet or Kakariko plans or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we can hold off on a name as well until we see what Kakariko Bonder Vendor has. Then we can call it whatever club we want it to be.
Both of the runners not getting trampled by the guard there, the green guard. And it looks like gamercal decided to go with a bottle or a jar and a hammer. EmoSaru went 2 hammer hits. They got the green goo in a bottle, and that's good to see at this stage because that helps things out with Kakariko Village.
Yep, able to check Sig Kid, and right now it has green goo in it, but if they have more rupees and they're paid for everything that they need to, it is a nice safety in case you don't find anything else.
So both of these runners heading out through the remainder of this escape. Remember, they got the 10 bombs of the uncle. That was the uncle item for this seed, but the hammer in Link's house subsedes that, and that's their primary weapon. The bombs will go towards Kakariko Village as well as the back 3 of escape.
Yeah, and even then, they probably won't even bother to buy bombs leaving Kakariko if they have the money, just because you'll have 6 leaving Kakariko anyways.
Yeah, there's no need to buy bombs at all at this point. You're going to have them to get into the mini Moldorm cave, into the Ice Rod cave. No need to buy bombs at this point, and you probably get some when you get to Kakariko Village as well.
Yeah, good chance of getting at least some of the triple bombs in one of those chests you find in Kakariko.
So EmoSaru, first one to the throne, pushing it at 4:10. That is a very good, solid time to head into the back of escape.
Yeah, definitely. They both, and gamercal's only a couple seconds behind at that, so they're both pretty much right on top of each other as far as sync.
And it's to point out that we've gotten confirmation from VTorp heading into the first week of the tournament here. The hammer that these runners got, that is part of Spear 2, not Spear, the original Spear, because what's in Link's house is actually considered beyond the uncle, in case you decide, hey, I'm going to forget it. We get the Power Glove.
Well, we could see very early Dark World access at this point, because we're just Moon Pearl away now.
Don't worry, they're going to find it in the back 3 of escape.
Yeah, why not?
Rat decides to go right for EmoSaru. Where does the rat go for gamercal? Stays in the corner. gamercal getting hit with the fact that he had the bottle in his inventory, forgetting that he has to hit 2 to go to the bomb in that case. There's 20 rupees. We have another bottle, so 2 bottles found so far. There's the map. Last item will be at Sarashla. Not Sarashla, the Sanctuary.
I mean, he might end up having an item, but we won't know until we find the green pendant.
Yeah, unfortunately, EmoSaru having trouble with the rats, deciding they're going to have a little village in front of the blocks, but these 2 are going to be leaving escape. Sub 6. Great start for both of these runners here in this first part of the run.
Yeah, especially having checked the chest as well. Sub 6 is a great time.
Yeah, it's kind of like the standard. If you know you're flying along at the beginning of this run, getting a sub 6, and definitely considering the fact that none of these runners had to really kill anything unless they were in the way. There's our map check, by the way.
Saw a green pendant on Hera, and then I believe it was crystals on Eastern Desert. Just regular ones, no 5 or 6.
All right, both of these runners are going to head over towards the lumberjack tree. EmoSaru trying to do the tree pull. Oh, that's a nice tree pull there. 80 rupees.
Yeah, well, there is the money for the bottle merchant in case you don't find any more.
And the crab ends up having a small jar, and that is a 5 rupee up there in the lumberjack tree. So if you're going to do Aghanim, you're not doing it for that reason.
Yeah, and really, at this point, the only reason we would need to fight Aghanim is if we just can't find the Moon Pearl in the Light World.
That's still a possibility, but we still need a few items to get to that point. As gamercal is going to go ahead and pull the tree in just a moment, and that's when he should hopefully find out about the rupees. Our container inside of the tree as EmoSaru heads in there to claim the heart container herself. Oh, that's a sanctuary heart too.
Yeah, so technically vanilla, because the first heart container you get in the vanilla game is also the Sank heart, so...
So gamercal gets the 80 rupees from the tree, so now he's got all he needs for Kakariko Village. So the bomb's not a big issue here. gamercal and EmoSaru making their way to Kakariko Village.
Yep, we got plenty of locations here. We've got, I believe it's 13 locations, not including library and the race game. And including Sick Kid. Might be 14.
All right, well, we're going to find out what's in the first 5 here in Kakariko Village. We get 20 rupees inside the chest and the piece of heart, and another piece of heart. And then we cap it off with some reading material.
Yep, that literacy. So that does potentially open something up in desert, depending on where the items are situated.
Well, it opens up at least one item, definitely. And that is that one item that you have on the ledge. It possibly opens up another, depending on where the keys turn out to be. And if the keys work out, desert could be a beatable dungeon at this point. No, it can't be. We're still missing a fire source. Never mind that.
So one thing you usually forget about desert is just that fire source right away.
Don't worry, they're going to find a fire source before they leave this town. Or they're just going to find a whole bunch of bombs.
I mean, bombs create fire in a way, you just can't light torches with them.
If only you could. So, it turns out 100 rupees is worth a piece of heart, so that means Zora for 500 rupees is going to give you a heart container later.
Yeah, we can hope. That's how it should work, but you know how Zora likes to play.
Chicken Coop coming with another piece of heart, this one for free. Are you proud of yourself?
Well, not free. It's not free for the chickens. They had their lives disrupted.
Oh, they'll be fine. You can go back into that chicken coop and they'd be perfectly dancing around as if there's no problem again. Another piece of heart coming from the sick kid. Let's go ahead and check the back of the tavern.
Just $20. So only really the book was the major item in all the places in Kakariko so far.
Oh, this game already gave him an early hammer, early power glove. Why should he even give him anything else at this point? Let's see if the boots are needed. Are they needed? Not for that.
Nope, not for a 10 arrow upgrade.
Is the race game going to be needed? Not for a bomb upgrade.
Yep, not for that. So more than likely going to be heading to South Hyrule, checking the damn mini Moldorm cave, and we'll see if they decide to skip Ice Rider cave or not.
Yeah, this is what we call South Shore here, with the upcoming dam check as well as the mini Moldorm cave. Having the hammer is nice for the mini Moldorm cave because bombs, well, they're finite.
Yeah, they are finite. Sometimes bombs can be easier just because that hitbox with the hammer and how the mini Trolldorms like to, be just like their big cousin.
Well, never mind what we said about the hammer being for the mini Moldorm cave, because there's your sword. How nice does it feel to have a first sword at 11 minutes in?
It feels really good, probably, especially when you're having hammer and the power glove. If you don't have hammer and power glove, or like the moon pearl, and you're looking at having to do Dark World through Aga, you're probably like, I don't want to find a sword this early just yet. Give me the other stuff first.
How about finding the blue mail at 11 minutes in?
That I'll be happy about. Especially if it's like you need to go to the Dark World with 5 hearts.
So Eastern Desert are crystals and Tower of Fair green pendant, as we had discovered earlier here, thanks to Oskik, who is running the tracker in our background today. Gamercal going with spinning strats against the Moldorms. Looks like EmoSaru's got the same idea here. Let's go see what we got inside here. Two and 1/4 hearts plus some upgrades.
Yep, so nothing in the mini Moldorm cave except that life. So Gamercal is heading to the Ice Rod cave.
And so too is EmoSaru. It's only going to be a question whether or not either of these runners decide they're going to go check the Agina area as well as Desert soon because of that book they got. But I'm thinking that they want to be able to clear that dungeon fully before they step inside at this point.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but when you start looking at the areas, it's like right now, if there's nothing in Ice Rod Cave, you have Desert area and you have Eastern area. Really, that's all that's left at this point, unless you want to sequence break up to Death Mountain for just checking the Old Man and Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, and that's a tough decision to make at this point because of the fact that you are missing the hook shot, you're missing the mirror. If you had the mirror, if you had the hook shot, that becomes a more plentiful play. And Gamercal is going to go ahead and check Agina as well as Desert to see if there's anything there. Let's see where EmoSaru decides to go. Will she go to Eastern? There's her map check right there. 3-4 for Desert in Eastern, and as confirmed, that's the green pendant. She is going to follow in Gamercal's tracks.
Yeah, and I think, right now the seed is kind of pointing you towards this area, with the book being really the only progression we found since leaving the escape area.
So Gamercal going to check the ledge. Ledge turns out to be 10 arrows. Not what these runners would need to see, but let's go ahead and pop into Desert.
Yeah, we'll see what's here. We'll see maybe if Emo checks Agina's cave first.
I was thinking that she may have thought about it with the bombs in the arsenal, but has opted not to do so. She's going to go into Desert 2 as well. And that's an interesting prayer angle, but gets it taken care of. Let's see if this dungeon requires the boots to beat. Small key doesn't tell us anything.
No, that's one of the nice items to find in that chest, so you either want to see that or the big key in that chest, because that does point to it not being boots locked right away.
Yeah, the big key guarantees that you could beat the dungeon without the boots. Obviously, you still need the fire source here. So we find our first item. It is a piece of heart.
So in this chest is either going to be a big key or big keys on torch.
And that is the big key, so this is going to be continued. We can go ahead and see what's inside the big chest, but we can't beat this dungeon, as we mentioned earlier, unless we find that fire source.
Yeah, we'll need to have the lamp or the fire rod. And we'll get a check on the torch to see what's on there, too.
Map right there for gamercal, so this could still be item number 2 we find inside the big chest. Is it something important? Is it something that can beat this dungeon? It turns out no, it is the compass. The Lamolas will have the second item, which we cannot get to at this point.
Alright, so the book was just kind of a bait to come into the area then. But Agina might still have something.
All right, so what does Agina have? Now, this would be a real big mean... I don't want to use the word troll, but it would just be mean if we find a fire source at Agina, especially considering the fact that that's keeping them from the second item in desert.
Yeah, and I think if there is a fire source here, that they may just opt to head right back in and clear it since they're right here now.
Yep, there's EmoSaru going down the ledge. I believe she now just remembered, hey, that's only 10 arrows. I don't need that. gamercal finds 50 rupees, so that is not the progression. And so, therefore, the next stop has to be Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, other than Eastern, the only option they'd have that's not a sequence break would be Zora, but they still need a good amount of rupees to make that happen.
Well, gamercal is going to get a little bit of information right now. He's going to find out what is on the island, and we find out the lamp is on the island. So the lamp is Flippers and Moon Pearl and Mirror Blot.
Yeah, behind all sorts of goodies.
Which also means that Aghanim is now off the table.
Yeah, that is true. But that means if Death Mountain access is here as well,
Flippers.
Early, we'll find a flute. But yeah, Flippers.
That now opens up 3 more locations up in that Zora area. Actually, it opens up 4, including the hobo. And EmoSaru was thinking about it. It seemed like EmoSaru was thinking about maybe going and following that chain, but has decided, and now she's doing it. There we go. We have a route divergence. gamercal is going to go ahead and check Eastern. EmoSaru is going to check what's at Zora as well as the hobo.
Yeah, this could be big if there's nothing in Eastern, because that means gamercal will end up double dipping this, which it doesn't take a huge amount of time. But Emo will just be able to come in here and clear it whenever it comes down to it.
And EmoSaru now getting the knowledge about the lamp being there, so now knows about the fate with that hook shot. Ooh, a hook shot in Eastern.
So what other kind of goodies could we find in Eastern?
Well, watch EmoSaru get the flute now. Oh my goodness, it is the flute!
Well, the hobo needs something to keep himself entertained while he's below that bridge by himself.
Excuse me, Sir Lincoln. They're going to be burning me at the stake for that one. You're on your own now.
Okay, Chad, just wait until after the race, then you can burn him at that point. So that points towards there being progression, unless we find another major item in Eastern. Oh.
EmoSaru finds the Moon Pearl in the waterfall.
So I don't know if that's good or bad for her. She's got the flute and the Moon Pearl. gamercal probably won't find anything else here, so he'll have the decision either check flipper locations or just sequence break Death Mountain now.
Well, just to be fair, right now, what gamercal is doing is a sequence break, so we know that the mirror cannot be here in Eastern at this point. But EmoSaru is going to go ahead and activate the flute, then we'll head into the Dark World. And yeah, you're right about the hookshot being... That's kind of important, but it all depends on when EmoSaru finds the mirror, actually, because you kind of want to try to clear as much of Death Mountain as you can. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and you know, with the lamp being mirror locked, it does take some locations for the mirror, and then if anything else is behind those dark rooms, it makes it even less places it could be.
But here's the thing, with the flute being in logic, and with the hookshot being in logic, it is very well possible that that mirror could be right side Death Mountain.
It could be, and it looks like gamercal is actually going to make the sequence break up Death Mountain now.
Yep. And I totally get this at this point. Goes ahead and tugs the tree, gets 80 more rupees because we still need Zora money at this point.
Yeah, it's not been many rupees this seed so far.
Well, there's an easy way to get some rupees, but neither of these runners want to grind for about a minute to get that. That's via the one cave near where the person who opens the chest. 5, 6 turns out to both be fire rod blocked. Turtle Rock being 5. And we also have 6 over at Skull Woods. Other pendant was down east ice. What was the other pendant?
That was Thieves Town.
Thieves Town. Okay, so EmoSaru is going to pop up here to Skull Woods for right now. Let's see what the old man provides us. Boots! Ooh!
Okay, so we've got most of the mobility items now.
And this now makes gamercal go a whole lot faster than what EmoSaru is up to.
So that means boots are mirror locked then too.
And was that the mirror?
That was the mirror.
Oh, so you have to get up here via the flute. Now that's good news for EmoSaru because she's going to be able to clear more of this Death Mountain because of that mirror location. But that's now gets what gamercal just did back in sequence.
Yeah, it does.
So flute to get up to the mountain there, to get to the lamp, to get the lamp on Hylia Island. That's how the seed wanted you to do it.
Yeah, that's okay, game. That's how you want to play it. Hopefully that's the worst part of the seed, but we'll see.
And there is the mushroom here for gamercal here in the Dark World, going to use that lamp to get over towards the Hera area, going to be able to check to see what's on the Ether Tablet, whether or not we need the Master Sword. And have a better defense in front of you that's a shield. Heart container, one of the items in Skull Woods. And good news for gamercal, the big key turns out to be downstairs here in the Tower of Hera, so we don't need to go visit that basement just yet.
Yeah, it would have actually been nice not to find the big key, because they still don't have a fire source, so then he would know I just can't do this dungeon at this point.
Well, that all depends if we can find both of the items. I mean, if the second item is down in the basement, it's something important. That may. The problem is that gamercal hooks the wall, hits the switch, and goes back downstairs. What I was going to say though is the bad news would be in gamercal's case if there was something in the basement. The problem is with the mirror location, it's really, really difficult unless you already have Fire Rod coming up here.
Yeah, it really is, but we'll see. We'll see what's in here, though. But she's gotten a red meringue out of Village of Outcasts so far.
Yeah, nothing good so far in the Village of Outcasts. We'll see whether or not she decides to pop into Thieves Town, at least if anything else, to see what's in the first 4.
And basement does have an item.
That's not good news. gamercal pulling out the hammer, trying to go ahead and squish a troll dorm by way of 3 hits. Gets rejected first time around. Old Dorm does not like intruders on my platform. Almost gets gamercal squished down. Ooh, getting batted around pretty nice, but staying on the platform, which is the more important thing to get the 3rd hit. There we go.
Yep, so Troll Dorm down.
But the bug catching that. And that was also once again for the green pendant. So gamercal has access to 1 more item. We know one of the items is in the basement. What does Sarashula have?
And he could have all sorts of goodies, considering it didn't take much to get to Moldorm at all.
Alright, gonna check to see what's on the island here, and I'm not really keeping track of EmoSaru, what she's getting just yet, which is unfortunate, because it does not appear that we've gotten anything major on her side lately.
No, I believe, if I've been paying attention, all we found is 10 arrows and a piece of heart out of Thieves Town so far.
And only getting 2 out of the 4 items that maybe will impact EmoSaru's decision here to continue searching in here, as gamercal finds that 20 rupees is in Spiral Cave this time around.
And Emo did not pick that key up from the pot.
Did she get a key in the first 4?
Yeah, she did.
That's interesting in that case.
Yeah, because she won't be able to get to the basement where the big chest is at this point.
Well, find out shortly, I guess.
Oh, well, we finally found a hoard of rupees.
Yeah, that's Rupee Cave right there. Paradox Cave being the Rupee Cave.
All right, well, we've got 3 of the items out of Thieves Town now.
Maybe she's hoping that the 4th item comes up really, really soon. gamercal is about to go check Hobo, and that will get the flute that will put gamercal back in sequence. This just gotta be careful. These enemies can kill you if they decide they're going to play not so nice with you, and that's why she pulls out the hammer. Can kill that. I don't remember their names. I know they've got strange names. They are rude. They can kill you, and that's the bigger thing I'm worried about at this point. She takes a death before she can get to the maiden cell.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not good. And that is extremely salt-inducing. And if there's something important in that blind cell there, that is bad news for EmoSaru at this point in time. gamercal about to go visit Zora. We'll get the Moon Pearl. We'll also get to see what Zora has, because 600 plus rupees, now you have enough to go ahead and pay. for the item.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Emo's going to check Race Game. And we might get our first check of Hype Cave, unless gamercal makes it there first after picking up his Moon Pearl.
Possibility here. EmoSaru is going to go ahead and start digging. Between 1 and 30 can yield you one of the items that are in the pool of this game. 216 great items. Getting a whole bunch of red rupees, which is actually nice because EmoSaru still needs Zora money. Bombo's the item.
Oh, we got some value out of the digging game then.
And it's 500 rupees for 100 at the Zora today. What scam indeed.
Zora apparently did not get the memo that he's supposed to give a heart container.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? Sword upgrade at Stumpy.
So when Emu does make her play up to Death Mountain, she'll be able to check the Ether Tablet because we know she'll get Mirror, and even though it's just a shield, she will be able to pick that up.
Yeah, well, here's the problem for EmoSaru at this point. She needs to make it up to Death Mountain and close that loop because every second that she does not get up to Death Mountain, that is a time advantage that gamercal has on her because of how fast gamercal is able to transverse over the overworld.
Yeah, not being able to... Those boots make a huge difference. Third bottle, though, in Hype Cave to start.
And a piece of heart to get her off beeping shreds at this point. And I'd likely see the EmoSaru is going to continue this route and check what's on the pyramid. Maybe... I don't know. I think this route ends at Catfish. Oh, gamercal is going to give us some information. Oh, we've got a pedestal check coming up.
We do indeed.
Is the pedestal required this seed? Pocket change. Move along. Not a pedestal required seed.
Sorry, chat. All your dreams have been dashed. No Ega, no bed.
Thanks for joining us. So gamercal now heading to the Dark World and probably going to be checking everything that we saw from EmoSaru over the last 10 to 15 minutes with Skullwoods as well as Thieves Town. So we may find out what was in that cell that EmoSaru died trying to get to. And based on her movement here, oh no, she's juking me out. EmoSaru's joking me out. I thought she was starting to turn to the south and head over to the Palace of Darkness, but she is heading to Catfish.
Yeah, we'll see if she decides to do that after checking Catfish or if she's going to save and quit and check some other locations at this point.
It would make total sense at this point just to go ahead and save and quit. And I think I know what her reluctance is. She doesn't want to go up there without the mirror. She doesn't want to go up to Death Mountain without the hook shot, and doesn't realize that one of those two is an Eastern that she hasn't delved in through, and the other one is on Death Mountain.
Yeah, which is, she's thinking about that, then she knows it's like either I need to dive in a pod for something, there's, you know, or I missed it in Thieves Town because of what happened, or it's got to be Eastern or in Death Mountain. So she's only really got 4 options when she's done with this.
Catfish gives us 3 bombs, and that was not what we need to see at this point in time, so time to go ahead and save and quit. Her next move will be to house, and it looks like she's going to make the Eastern play. Or maybe not. We'll have to see where she flows to, because there are some still options on the play. Fluting to 5, she's heading to Eastern.
Yep, which that's good for her, because it's going to give her the hook shot, and more than likely that's just going to end up leading her up to Death Mountain, where she'll get her mirror as well as her boots.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she needs at this point. Gamercal is going to do just the first 4 and leave, so we are not going to see what's inside Blind's cell at this point in time. So if there's something important in there, like a fire round or a bow, we're not going to know until much later. EmoSaru looks like she's getting everything set up for the Palace of Darkness play, which is interesting at this point. But we're going to find out immediately whether or not we're bow blocked.
Yeah, and no mirror means if there's nothing here, she's gonna have to probably save and quit and make another decision.
Gamercal doing the digging game. We'll get the Bombos medallion soon. Gamercal's going to have one routing advantage here over EmoSaru doing this the way that he is, and that's the fact that he's going to be able to check the south, the cave at Haunted Grove.
He'll also, if he wants to route it, when he gets the Master Sword off of Stumpy, he'll be able to check Bombo's tablets and get the item as well.
And that's the big key. So we are immediately bow blocked, and based on the way that EmoSaru is wonking, are we going to see the bottle glitch?
I would guess so. That's the only thing that makes sense, because you don't have a mirror to leave, so it's got to be potion glitch.
Yeah, she's going to pull off the bottle glitch in just a moment as we see what's inside the South of Haunted Grove. It's just a piece of heart. So the bottle glitch is something that has been recently discovered here, where if you use a bottle in this upcoming room that EmoSaru is coming to, at a particular point, you can affect how the next room plays out in regards to the camera. It will allow you to move the camera, and the mimics, you could scroll them off the screen. Let's go ahead and see if she's able to pull this off. And she's going to have to use some magic here, because you can't use the full bottle of green goo without draining some part of your magic at this point. So EmoSaru's doing that, uses the bottle. Let's see if she gets it. We'll find out immediately. When she walks to the right, she's got it. So you can see that the camera now has moved. She's going to tug the wall, and that now has got the game thinking that the mimics are dead. You can go through the wall, and that allows you to access these 2 bow-blocked chests right now.
Yep, and Bombo's tablet was just a piece of heart.
So we know the bow can't be in here. And that's unfortunate that a map was one of the items, because you're going to get a key in this last chest, because otherwise you'd be stuck in this dungeon. Gamercal is going to check Swamp, which is a dungeon that is fully clearable by this by the items we have at this point.
Yeah, and there's a good 6 items in here as well, so Seed might even be pointing here right now with everything you found.
So we get a small key in here, and this is just going to be to get the items. This is not a beatable dungeon at this point, because you need the bow for 2 reasons in this dungeon. You need the bow in order to get past the Room of the Mimics, just past the switch that you have to weigh down with either the statue or the cane of Samaria. But you also need to fire an arrow into the statue the following room. So there are 2 rooms that you need the bow still. So this is not clearable at all.
Yeah, with the location she's checked, knowing there's no major items, there's really only one more place that can have something that's not lamp blocked at this point.
And the thing is that what she's trying to do is she's trying to find some reason to go up onto Death Mountain at this point. There's nothing else guiding her up there. But we know that the item that she seeks more is on the other side in the light world. There's a cane of Burna. That's not really what you wanted to see at this point.
No, not really. The only thing it does, I guess, maybe, and it might point her towards Death Mountain, is Spike Cave is not within logic because don't bow, but it is open at this point.
But that still could have the bow, depending on where the cape turns out.
That is true.
The one big thing that always gets questioned, you always have to worry about when you're doing these kind of moves, is making sure that you are very mindful where you are in the logic. If you get yourself too far ahead, you could be setting yourself up for trouble at this point.
Yeah, and gamercal makes a decision to skip left side.
Yeah, he may be opting to do it once he gets cleared of the dungeon. This may be standard routing for gamercal at this point, as EmoSaru does check to see what we've got. We've got the single arrow and the big key, and gamercal may be skipping out in those two chests left side based on the fact that he's going back for the big key chest at this point. Or the big chest at this point.
Yeah, it might be a gamble.
Mushroom turns out to be in the big chest, and it looks like gamercal is going in the direction now to the left side. And we get the shovel in the big chest here in the Palace of Darkness. EmoSaru has now completed everything that she can in the Palace of Darkness. And she's got to get... Oh, she did get half magic somewhere, by the way.
Yeah, had to have been in one of those dark rooms.
Which is a nice find, and that could also be putting out a big alert signal to go up to Spike Cave.
Yeah, but first we're going to get a shovel check.
Oh, she also got a sword. She got tempered.
Oh, yeah, that would be the bacon sword, so, you know, depending on what we find in Spike Cave, nothing huge right now, but still not a bad play to go in there with what you got.
And she's finally going up to the mountain now. Now, if she checked the old man at this point, and she's going to check the old man, she will have the boots. That's good. Not having the hook shot at this point is not a bad thing, only because the mirror takes place of what the hook shot could do for you in this regards.
Yeah, and the mirror does end up opening up a couple more locations compared to what the hookshot would at this point in time, with the exception of Swamp Palace. But I still don't think we found anything. Once the mushroom turns into something, we haven't really found anything important in Swamp yet.
And there's EmoSaru grabbing the old man. We'll take him over to his home. We'll get the boots off his feet. And then EmoSaru will be running really fast. But the good thing here is that EmoSaru finally got the mobility here. Finally's got this, and we'll have the mirror real soon. This will make EmoSaru probably feel... I don't know how this would actually make a runner feel at this point because of the fact that the mirror being here. You may be thinking, did gamercal come here earlier? Did gamercal check this a lot sooner? Did gamercal sequence break? Because this was accessible right from the start of getting out of the escape.
Yeah, it really was.
Actually, I don't think it was right at the escape. I was in Kakariko Village where the gloves turned out to be. But yeah, it was within the first 10 minutes. EmoSaru tried to set up the bomb jump, did not get it. That is a tough bomb jump to pull off. But that mirror now, EmoSaru knows where the lamp is. Now, obviously, EmoSaru is going to be making the play for Hera. She doesn't know it. gamercal knows that there's an item in that basement. We don't know if that item turns out to be required. Now, gamercal facing off against Argus with the Master Sword, going to do some spinning strats to help keep things manageable here. That's a good idea for this fight, by the way. Obviously, EmoSaru is going to have a much faster Argus fight with the Tempered Sword already in hand.
Yep, and she's going to get her first shield.
And there's the shield pickup there for EmoSaru, and that's something gamercal's never going to be picking up because no need to go back there. You don't need a shield to beat this game.
Nope, definitely not. Helps a little bit in some areas, but it's not necessary by whatsoever.
After the skill set these runners have. So Swamp, as you noted, a bust as far as items are concerned, unless that mirror leads to something.
Yeah, unless the mushroom leads to something. So it's like, let's see, areas that we would still have right now that could be checked. Spike Cave, but it's not in logic. I don't think gamercal has turned in his green pendant yet to Sahasrahla.
No, and that may be his next move after running up this direction. He may be getting ready to check out Sarash. They may be getting ready to check out the pyramid. Who knows? Right now, gamercal's routing is better than what we saw from EmoSaru, but that's because of the risk that gamercal ended up taking this seed.
Yeah, the sequence break up Death Mountain paid off.
Oh, EmoSaru falling down the hole. That's going to take her down 2 levels. gamercal is going to go pick up the lamp because we have yet to see another fire source, and we know that 2 items are behind fire sources at this point.
Yeah, so progression with us having the lamp, there could now be something on Landmo as well.
Landmo as well as the Hera basement. So yep. gamercal is making his way over towards the northeast portion here. Does he check Sahasrahla now? I don't know.
If he's going to go to pod, I could see him doing it because you could just have to mirror to check him. But he's going to do... This makes a little bit more sense because he got the mushroom. And with no other value in swamp, he'll probably check pyramid and turn mushroom and catfish.
You are right. Yeah, he's going to turn that mushroom in on his way to Quake. That's exactly what he's doing. And gamercal without a full row of hearts is going to pick up this heart container. Might as well. And that gives him 11. So EmoSaru about to pick up the riches that are in the Paradox Cave this time around, as gamercal shows us what you can do with a mushroom. And gamercal is going to bonk his way to the light world to save himself some having to play around with menuing and whatnot. And we find that another shield is the mushroom reward.
Yep, and he's just going to nope. Alright, so Emo finishing off Paradox Cave. Not saving and quitting. The only thing I could think of that you're checking now is going to Spike Cave.
Yeah, but EmoSaru is on the wrong side for Spike Cave at this point. It is possible, and again, it may not be in logic from what we know, and that's exactly where she's going. She's going to go ahead and check Spike Cave. But it's not in logic, but if this turns out to be the bow, if the bow is here in Spike Cave, then we know the Magic Cape is accessible somewhere else. EmoSaru is going back into Hera, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she is.
And gamercal is going to head on over towards the Palace of Darkness. And what does Sahasrahla have? We're going to find out that question in about, let's see, about 40 seconds from now.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have something, then there's not many locations left. I don't think either runner has checked Graveyard Ledge.
No, they haven't.
Which Emo could, so I think that's about it that's within logic.
There's the cape. Ooh, so that means Spike Cave could have something.
I think Spike Cave is the play.
Spike Cave could have something now, because that cape was accessible without a dark room. So now the bow could be somewhere. So gamercal's going to get the news here that we've got an immediate big key here. EmoSaru is going to come here to the end of this fight, and unfortunately, two of them. This is going to be an easier fight for EmoSaru because of the tempered sword aspect. Oh, gets the poke instead of the swing, so therefore we get an extra hit. There we go. EmoSaru done with Troldorm.
Yep, much quicker because of that tempered sword.
So, right now, we know that Spike Cave could now have something. Neither of these runners checked Bumper Cave, so now that has something, that has the potential. And it looks like gamercal is setting up the bottle trick too, so what EmoSaru did just a little bit ago with that trick, it's going to not really be an advantage for either runner.
No, it won't, and she is doing the Spike Cave check.
Might as well at this point. And if she finds the bow in here, then she knows something's up. Switches on over to the Cane of Burna. And gamercal gets the trick as well. So both of these runners pulling up. Oh, there we go. gamercal pulls out the trick. 50 rupees at Spike Cave. That's not what EmoSaru wanted to see at this point.
No, not at all.
Nice spin speed to get out of there, though. I'm wondering what her next decision is going to be at this point, because she's out of options here in this part of the world. So, as you mentioned before, we do have a couple more options for both of these runners. All of them seem to be in Northern Hyrule. You have King's Tomb, which is accessible because we have the mirror and the boots. We have the Dash Rocks, the Bonk Rocks, and I think that's where EmoSaru's next play is going to be. We also have the Graveyard Ledge, as well as Bumper Cave.
Yeah, and then Landmolus, as well as the Basement of Hera. When Emo gets her lamp, because Gamer has his lamp, but hasn't checked those areas yet.
There's also the items in Thieves Town.
That is true.
There's items up behind there. EmoSaru trying to take a look at the map, trying to figure out what to do now. Has not gone to Eastern Palace, does not have the hookshot. Hookshot does not lock anything at this point in time, but it's just adding to the anxiety for her at this stage in the run. And this has got to be getting upsetting here at 52 minutes in. No dungeon is beatable.
Yeah, with the exception of Tower of Hera, that was the only one that was beatable. For her, Swamp Palace is beatable, you know, but she's still missing that hook shot.
And there's the half magic we see on gamercal. So bottom right chest was the half magic. We know the tempered sword's in here as well. And there that is. We know this is not a pedestal required seed. gamercal was able to tell us that really fast by use of the way of the pedestal check relatively early. But this here for EmoSaru, this hook shot is tough, but one of these two runners are going to have to make a play for either Northern Hyrule or make that play to Hera, make that play to Lamo.
Yeah, because you've pretty much done all your sequence breaks too. There's nothing to sequence break anymore. You've got to stay within logic. And
here we go. Lamo 2 coming up here for gamercal, or Lamo 1 coming up here for gamercal. EmoSaru is going to pick up the lamp now. EmoSaru is heading for the island to pick up the lamp. That will now add two more possibilities. As we mentioned before, the Tower of Hera's basement does have an item. Lamos, they have an item.
Which Emo might head to the eastern area after this anyways, since she hasn't been in there whatsoever yet. And has a green pendant.
I don't think so.
But yeah, maybe not.
She may be taking this trail of the fire. Yep, she's going to Lamo. So again, we know Lamo has an item. Is it progression? If it's not here, there's just a handful of loose squares that we're starting to come across.
Yeah, Graveyard, King's Tomb, and Basement of Hera.
Don't forget Bumper Cave.
Yep, and Bumper Cave, that's right.
And plus, we know there's still an item or two in Thieves Town. Or there's one more item in Thieves Town, we know.
Yep, just one item.
I do hope that when EmoSaru comes back into Thieves Town that she remembers that she didn't grab that key the first go around. Now, the good news for EmoSaru, with this lamp, she can finally beat her first crystal dungeon. The bad news, we're 55 minutes in. How does this impact your mind? Because you know this is going to be weighing on your mind, the fact that it's 55 minutes in and you're just getting your first crystal.
I mean, I'm kind of looking at the items I've gotten and seen where I've went, even with sequence breaking.
Ooh, 20 rupees.
Yep, so not there. I wouldn't feel... If I would feel behind, I don't think I'd feel that behind, just because I would assume my opponent's having the same problems as I am, and just doesn't have the items to clear any dungeons yet. Now, when I find the hookshot in Eastern Palace, that's when I would start feeling behind at that point, because that opens up, you know, Swamp Palace with the 6 items there, a bunch of other locations.
So gamercal, looks like we're getting ready to check the North Hyrule area. As we mentioned before, there's some potentials in here. I don't know if gamercal had already checked Skull Woods just yet. Maybe he did. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did check Skull Woods or not.
But you know where I think there might be something at this point? Graveyard Ledge.
You know, I think the item is actually going to be in Thieves Town, just because Emo didn't skip it, she tried for it. Took that unfortunate death, but gamercal just skipped it entirely.
gamercal ended up skipping Skull Woods, according to chat. Thank you guys for keeping up with us here. Let's go ahead and see what we have at Bumper Cave. Bumper Cave, is it something important? Oh, it's a heart container, no. So, green pendant not required.
Nope, not at all. Emo is making the play to Sahasrahla. We'll see if she goes into Eastern.
Yeah, she's got to check Eastern next. She's got to check Eastern next. Checking all the North Hyrule stuff now. And there's the cave for EmoSaru. Maybe that takes her up to the north side of Hyrule as well. But she is going to go Eastern. And she's not going to be feeling good when she finds that hookshot.
Yep.
Hookshot turned out not to be super required, but that we know of at this point. But getting something that is that easy, accessible, that is immediately accessible once you get out of the escape, cannot be a good feeling. Graveyard Ledge has money.
Alright, so we've got King's Tomb check next.
Do you think it's here, or where? You think it's Thieves Town?
Yeah, I think it's in Thieves Town.
There's the hookshot there for EmoSaru. No time to react to it. We've got to get going. In your mind, your opponent got this. One of the first things. No progression there. Ooh, so we are now down to either Thieves Town or the basement of Tower of Hera.
And I think the worst would be Tower of Hera, just because if you think of how the seed forced you to get a fire source.
Yeah, it took you up the mountain to get to that mirror. So that means you had to at least double up the mountain. And, you know, that's not a good feeling either.
No, not at all. And it looks like gamercal did skip Skull Woods because he's dipping in now.
Yeah, our chat letting us know that he did not go into here earlier. Gets the heart container out of here. We know there's no progression in here. So, chat, we have one item in Thieves Town. We have one item in the Tower of Hera. Where is the progression? Where do you think it is? Press 1 if you think it is Thieves Town. Press 2 if you think it's the Tower of Hera. Press 3 if you want me to shut up.
So I guess the question is, if you're the runner, you have to pick between Thieves Town or Hera Basement. Which one are you running to?
I'm running to Thieves Town. That's my first choice. I'm getting some 3s in chat. I'm going to shut up now. You go ahead and talk about this for the next minute.
No, I think you should have just said press 3 to burn me at the stake at that point. That's what they want to do.
Well, they want to burn me at the stake for that fluke call earlier. So EmoSaru with the hook shot is going to head on over to Swamp. This is a reasonable play at this point.
Yeah, and, you know, with the 6 items there, I don't blame her at all for going here. We know she's not going to find anything here, and unfortunately going to have to full clear it. But so did gamercal. Emo might be able to save a little bit of time depending how she routes it, if she decides to just go to left side right away rather than skip it and then come back for it.
Well, we already know that she's going to have a little bit of a time save compared to gamercal because of the fact that she had Tempered Sword, whereas gamercal had Master Sword for the Argus fight.
Yep.
Chad also reminding us that they can't burn us at the stake without the fire rod.
I mean, they have a lamp. That's a fire source too, right?
Good point. They also got bombos.
Yeah, I was like, or if they just want to go overboard at that point, just use the bombos medallion.
Gamercal back into Thieves Town. Okay, well, we'll find out. If it's not here, we know it's in the Tower of Hera.
See, now I think at this point, if the progression's in Thieves Town, gamercal might feel like he's behind at that point, just because he skipped this earlier and he might think his opponent didn't.
Well, he had no way of checking it. I mean, he had the mirror at that point and whatnot, but he had no way of knowing that. It was going to have to be a double trip up the mountain. For all we know, this could be a triple trip up the mountain. Although at this point, the Titansman is the one thing that's really we're missing out on.
Yeah, that would open the most locations up right now.
I can't think of anything else it can be at this point. Because we found both items in Skullwoods, haven't we?
I don't know, I think we only found one of them.
It could also be the bow, because then EmoSaru could have something.
Yeah, and I think I don't think we found 3 items in Eastern. I think Armos has one too.
That's a possibility too, yes.
And yeah, it could be a fetch quest like the only fetch quest looks like we have left is Powder, but Powder could be here and the Magic Bat could have something.
Oh, that's rude. Now remember, EmoSaru ended up dying trying to get to this chest. Is it something important? Is this progression? It is the compass. No.
I think the one that'll hurt her the most, because if she doesn't remember that she didn't pick that key up, is if it's in this big chest right here.
And is it? No, it's maps. The blind's got the final item.
Alright, so that's good for her then.
Yeah, especially if she gets back in there and has to clear this thing back out. We know this is not a pedestal required seed, but we know that Blind has the 4th and final item of Thieves Town. And if this isn't it, then it's got to be Tower of Hera.
Yeah, there's either got to be something that unlocks one location, or it has to be Tower of Hera.
And Blind goes down. And Blind has the Titan's Mitt. Yes!
French vanilla Titan's mitts.
And that opens the world.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain, Mire area, opens up Ice Palace.
It opens up the upcoming trading sequence that we're going to see gamercal do with the Breadsmith.
It does that as well. Also hammer pegs.
And this now makes that death that EmoSaru suffered inside Thieves Town a little more harder to stomach. And once she gets done with here, she's going to be down to just those couple of options.
Yeah,
what do
sure.
we have in Pet Cave? Pet Cave is the Fire Rod.
Well, Skull Woods is open. Also makes the Plate Ice Palace a little bit more revealing, having both the fire sources to get in there.
And you know gamercal is not going to want to go in there at this point. EmoSaru getting hit with that glitch there of walking back down the steps. So gamercal is walking the chest back. I was going to say, is there a spot that he missed that we hadn't seen earlier? There's EmoSaru picking up the mushroom. And I'm surprised that he's not fluting his way to 7 and turning in the chest that way.
Yeah, it is weird because he's checked all the mirror locations, so that's really all he has.
Oh, he's got shovel. That's why.
Oh, yep, that's right.
And now that he's checked that, he's going to flute to 7. Red rupee there at the purple chest, so no, nothing there, but looks like gamercal wants to finish off this Skull Woods while we're in this area, and that makes sense. This is the last thing you have to do in this part of the world.
Yeah, especially if there was an item left here, then you might as well do it. You're going to need to come back here anyways.
Looks like EmoSaru is getting ready to go to the Fire Rod, but EmoSaru does not have that at this point. And how weird is this? At the hour 8 mark, we're still several items away from go mode.
Yeah, and it's one of the worst items as well as Ice Rod. That can be wherever it wants to be at this point, pretty much.
We're missing the bow, we're missing the Ice Rod, we're missing the cane and Samaria, and we may be missing medallions required to get into Mire and Turtle Rock.
Emo going to go turn her mushroom in.
Yeah, she won't be happy to see that fireball shield.
No, she will not, and then she'll have to make the decision to go into Thieves Town or up to Hera at that point.
Well, we know that she needs to go into Thieves Town. But she did not get to Zora early because she didn't have enough money, so now that's weighing in the back of her mind. The lack of rupees early on caused me not to be able to get something that is required at Zora. And I think in this case, she'll be relieved to find out that it's only a 400 rupee loss. gamercal showing us how you do Mothula. Mothula dropping the compass. Sir Linklaut, you've commentated a lot of these kind of runs. What's going through these runners' minds at this point?
As far as Emo, I think she probably feels very behind right now with how she found the hook shot, and it's an hour and 10 minutes in. I've only cleared 2 crystal dungeons at this point, finding the item she has when she did. Gamercal might feel a little behind because of his gamble with Thieves Town and finding the mitts there. Because if you're thinking, okay, I noped out of this, if my opponent decided to just finish it, they've had Titan's mitts probably for a half an hour or so at this point.
Looks like EmoSaru may be going to Thieves Town. This is the play. And let's be real, this is not a huge difference between these two runners at this point. This could come down to what way you turn after you get done with this portion of the world.
Yeah, this could very well just be kind of your routing decisions at this point. Because especially with the ice rod being on the table still, that can be wherever you want it to be. It just could be that gamble where you have a couple dungeons. Which one do you decide first? And if it's there, it gives you the lead.
Okay, so EmoSaru is going back into Thieves Town, and I just have to wonder what's going through her mind when she finds that the Titan's Mitt is at blind, because you were in here earlier and you suffered a death trying to get to the maiden. Or to, the maiden. And it's just, that's a tough thing. And EmoSaru is realizing, oh, wait, that's right. I've already gotten the big key out of here. Is that a sim? That was a sim.
Yeah, that looked like a sim.
That's awesome. Still doesn't get that key, but it's not going to cost her, as we now know.
Yeah, she'll probably just be crossing her fingers when she remembers that she forgot that key, that it's not there, and be probably slightly relieved that she finds the Titan's mitts, but then at the same time, that that dread's like, oh, this has been here the whole time.
There's the ice rod.
Yep, ice rod in Super Bunny Cave. So potentially we are only missing Bo and Samaria at this point.
And medallions.
Yep, and medallions.
Which we're going to find out the answer to one of them right now. Turtle Rock requires Quake. We haven't seen that one yet.
Nope, okay, so there's one item. So we need at least 3 items now. I think when you're done with Dark Death Mountain as Gamercal, since you've checked Turtle Rock, you go check Misery Mire after this.
That's exactly what I was about to say, is that'll be the next check at this point.
Hookshot Cave having all the rupees.
Yeah, Gamercal is also going to check Spike Cave while he's up here, because that's the last thing you've got to check. Does he check Hera Basement, knowing that there's an item up here still?
Looks like he is.
Well, we don't know yet what way he turns at this point, and
Spike.
He's going to check basement. He's checking basement. Good fight there for EmoSaru against Blind. We'll get the Titan's Mitt.
Yeah, and I think right now as runners, you kind of want to find Quake and then Bo before you find Samaria, because Samaria, even if you find Quake, Turtle Rock's still not even open.
Exactly. And if you find the Cane of Samaria in Quake, Bo could be at Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, pretty much, if that's the case, it pretty much puts Bo anywhere that's not Armos or... Well, we know it can't be in Pod.
That's right. That's right. It can't be. All right, Gamercal going to check the torches. We know this is going to be an item. the fourth item, or the second item in Hera, is a red rupee. No! So gamercal is going to leave and is going to check Spike Cave. We know that this was not anything major at this point. For all we know, Myers Shed could have the progression. Ice Palace could have the progression.
Yeah, and as far as overworld, we've pretty much checked everything overworld-wise now between the two runners.
Yeah, EmoSaru is going to go ahead and finish up some of the checks that gamercal checked earlier. I think gamercal is going to make that play to Misery Mire now.
Yeah, that's the most logical play, because then you at least know at that point what you need for go mode now.
Yep. There's no speculation now. You know if it turns out to be Ether or Quake that you need to go grab those medallions. We already know we need Quake for Turtle Rock, and we need... That looked like Bombos. Was that Bombos?
It was a little fuzzy on mine.
Cane of Samaria in Myers Shed.
And yes, that was Bombos.
Now the last thing that these runners need to see is the bow. That's the worst thing these runners need to see at this point.
Yep, you want to see the bow before you see Quake.
Watch this be Quake. Nope, single rupee.
But yeah, I can see both runners at this point just diving right into Misery Mire. It's completely open.
Yep. Only advantage right now that gamercal has over EmoSaru is that fire rod. That's important for only one part of this dungeon.
Yeah, it makes the upper level of Misery Mire a little bit faster.
Now, EmoSaru does need to do the Peg Cave for the fire rod, but then needs to do Skull Woods. After that, this is a tight race. We are not done with trying to figure out who has the lead in this race until it's go mode. gamercal has an advantage. We can't call it a lead just yet.
Yeah, not just yet, because with bow still being on the table, and that literally can be almost anywhere that's available at this point.
And inside we have a small key here in the first spot of Misery Mire. This is going to be a race to figure out where the bow and the Quake are.
Just more keys so far in Mire.
And you remember me mentioning that gamercal has one advantage in this Misery Mire with the fire rod, and that's coming up right now. And EmoSaru with the lamp is not going to go that direction for understandable reasons. We find the big key over on EmoSaru's side, gamercal finding the compass.
And now Emo's gonna go do those fire rooms. gamercal did skip the vanilla big key location.
Yeah, that's going to be the last spot he checks. It's the last spot you want to check, so I can understand gamercal's idea here. All right, big chest, small key.
So that means either Vitreous has an item.
Ether.
A medallion, not the one you want to see.
And gamercal's gonna go gamble that Vitchy has the second item.
And we're gonna find that out on Emo's side if that's a good gamble or not.
Can I get gamercal's play here? You just found one item. You know, the second item could be at Vitty, but he could be right here. EmoSaru finds the map. Vitty has the item.
Yep, so good gamble on gamercal's side then. Just missing the swag dash.
Yeah, the switch was just off the screen, so it didn't work for gamercal as EmoSaru is about ready to pick up the Ether medallion. And we'll know that the Vitty will have the second item. Is that an item that is required?
Misery Mire could be Medallion Mire.
You know, I was just thinking about that, Sir Link, a lot. I love the fact that we're both on the same page with making that joke. Gamercal going all combat Rambo style here. Just beating up on the eyes. Using the cape, which is a good strategy at this point, down to 4 hearts. You don't want to lose that cape or get hit and end up having to go back to the start, because that would be very devastating at this point. So, yeah. Sir Link-a-Lot, what does Vitty have? He's got the bow!
Well, you did want to find that before you found... Actually, no, that's go mode. No, wait, we need Quake still. That's right.
Yep, we still need Quake, but that was the item you wanted to find before Quake.
Yes, it was.
One more piece of this puzzle, and gamercal is going to head over to the Palace of Darkness in Eastern to finish those 2 dungeons up. Where is Quake?
Yeah, and this is the best choice for him, because if Pod or Eastern has an item left over, they're both crystals, you need to clear them anyways. If you don't find him here, your only option really at that point is Ice Palace.
EmoSaru's gotta be thinking about doing the cape strat. You got half magic. This would make the fight easier. You don't want to die. Oh, that was close. There's always a delay. There's always a delay when you select the cape before it activates, and I was worried that was going to hit her, and that's not a death you want to take at this point. With 1.5 hearts and a deep dive into a Vitty fight that we know has something. Gets him tackled down, we'll get the bow.
Yep, and we'll see where she decides to go now.
I think she's going to go ahead and follow gamercal's footsteps at this point in time. Going to the Palace of Darkness, going to East and finish those dungeons up.
She might also go to Death Mountain right now as well, just to check. Because she has not checked Dark Death Mountain, but nope, she's going to head towards the pod in Eastern.
Clear the dungeons before you clear the overworld. At this point, you have 2 crystal dungeons you can beat. You know that it took you a long time to get your first. You've got to go for this. And she's still mindful of the fact that she's got a lot of things she can do in the Dark World still. Like, she's got to do the trading sequence. She's also got to go ahead and do the Hookshot Cave area in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, which I can see her, you know, routing Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave when she goes up to Turtle Rock, which she's probably hoping to find everything else before that at this point.
Yeah, and that ice rod could be her go mode. Just not where you expect to find it, up on the heading up the mountain as opposed to inside Turtle Rock. Gamercal finishing off the Helmstar King. EmoSaru will be heading here shortly. We are just a quake away from go mode. And that's just a red rupee, so it's not here.
Nope, just a crystal.
So we know the options for Gamercal. He'll head over to Eastern Palace next. After that, if Quake is still not found, it almost has to be where?
Pendant Ice Palace.
A scary place to be, but this is a case where you get that Quake, you get out.
Yeah, unless the sea decides to do something like put it on Cold Stare.
Oh, come on. You want to ruin our runner's day like that?
I mean, I think the seed's already done that enough the way it has, so it's not my fault.
That's totally understandable, yep. We know the pedestal has pocket change from what we saw from Gamercal earlier. EmoSaru hopefully will go ahead and start checking some overworld stuff before making the play into Quake is early in Ice Palace and getting out. EmoSaru was digging deep.
Emo takes down Helmstar King. Gets her 5th crystal. No, 4th crystal.
Yep, just needs to do Eastern, Skull Woods, and Turtle Rock. 2 of those dungeons she can't beat just yet. 3rd one she's going to head into right now, Eastern. So you said we have only found 2 items here in Eastern. That means that the Armos Knights will have an item. No, it's not there. It's bombs. Sir Link-a-Lot, guess where we are heading?
To that Pendant Ice Palace. Because why would the game let you avoid Pendant Ice Palace?
Because the game is a big stinking jerk.
Yeah, chat pointing out, there's a possibility Quake's not even technically in here. There just could be powder in here.
Ooh, wouldn't that be evil? Actually, if powder is in here and EmoSaru comes into Ice Palace first, that actually would throw a little bit of an advantage in her way because she's got to get that direction anyways. Big key in the first chest. There's the kill of the Armos Knights for EmoSaru, down with that pendant, or rather down with that crystal. Gamercal with a 6-5 crystal advantage.
Yep, and we are on the hunt for Quake still.
Time to head up to the mountain for EmoSaru. We'll find the ice rod here, but we know that the Quake will not be here. EmoSaru also still has yet to double check and see what that second item in Hera is. May decide to go in there as well. gamercal knows that this dungeon, under most circumstances, is not going to be beat. So it's going to leave the switch down and not bother with the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, you're thinking that you're going to have to full clear it right now anyways, looking for one item.
And you're also thinking if you find Quake, you're mirroring out of here and getting out.
Yeah, if you find Quake, then you're out of here. If you find anything else, then you're just going to go until you've seen all 3 items.
And there's the Quake right there. Yep. So 1 hour, 30 and 15 seconds. gamercal, the first of these 2 runners into
Go mode.
Both of these runners know exactly the quality of their opponent. These are 2 well-known runners in this community. They're very good at what they do. So you've got to be thinking, the later it takes for you to get into go mode, the more likely you're playing a come-from-behind game.
Yeah, and probably gamercal's, might be thinking in the back of his head right now, just that idea where the Titans Myths ended up being and him noping out of Thieves Town, which might put him in that spot where he feels like he's behind.
EmoSaru actually just gained the ice rod and getting out.
Yeah, she'd already checked Hookshot Cave, and she came in from the Turtle Rock portal, so she knows she needs Quake at this point.
EmoSaru not. I don't think EmoSaru is in a good mood at this point.
Yeah, I think she's thinking, where do I have left to go at this point? Because she's missing 2 items from go mode, and there's not that many locations for her to check either.
EmoSaru going to go ahead and do some of the fetch quest stuff, so soon we'll find the fire rod. Then we'll be a Quake away from go mode, but gamercal now with the lead, heading through Turtle Rock on our way towards the finale of this seed.
Early big key in Turtle Rock.
Always nice to find. And there's EmoSaru picking up the fire rod. You gotta be thinking a lot of things at this point.
Yeah, because that death that she ended up taking in Thieves Town kind of like doubled down on her, because Fire Rod was also locked behind this, which means she was out of Skull Woods this long.
And then that's the unfortunate thing where one death really came back to haunt you, and that's the one death from EmoSaru that came back to haunt her, is the fact that she died on her way to the Maiden. just got tackled by the enemies before she was able to do anything. And I was thinking it was a case where she was hoping that that chest was going to actually have the final item. Didn't even get to that point to check it, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't even get to check. And gamercal is going to steal a key in the hopes that maybe he'll be able to skip Laser Bridge.
Yeah, we'll find out if he gets to do so in just a few moments. Yeah, looks like EmoSaru now going to be going into Skull Woods. Has that one item left to check at this point, but very, very likely we're going to see EmoSaru start to wrap things up here. Ice Palace will be the next play after this, but at this point it's probably what, about a 10-minute lead here for gamercal?
Yeah, something like that, because she'll probably just be getting a Quake, maybe. Probably not even that far yet when he's finishing Trinex up. So yeah, it's probably, 8, 9, 10-minute lead right now.
And there's the Laser Bridge skip key over there for gamercal.
So just a couple more rooms to go until we see Trinex.
Just a reminder of the stakes for this race here. The winner improves to 4-1. They'll be 1 win away from their automatic berth into the bracket stage of this tournament. The loser, they are not done. They are not eliminated out of this tournament, but they will be put down to 2 losses, and that is a scary place to be. With a lot of talent sitting with 2 losses at this point, week 6 is going to be very, very scary, and even worse when you get to week 7.
Yeah, you really wanted to try to get those 5 wins before week 7, because like you said, being 4-2 on week 7 is going to be a scary week, and there's going to be a lot of good races that week.
And gamercal getting ready to do this final part of Trinex 4.5 Hearts Tempered Sword. Should be no problem. There it is.
A very quick kill.
All right, so gamercal picking up his 7th and final crystal, and now you know what that means. It is time to go ahead and play a game. Sir Link-a-Lot, you tell them the details.
All right, everybody. So we are going to be going to Ganon's Tower. We are looking for a big key there. It can be in any chest between numbers 1 through 22. Your job is to pick a number between that 1 and 22, guessing where that chest is. If you are a supporter of Speed Gaming by either having subbed to any of its channels or donated 250 bits, you are entered to be in the leaderboard if you're the first one to pick that number.
And we'll go ahead and cut things off once gamercal reaches the basement of the upcoming Ganon's Tower. And special thanks to all the people that have come on by and resubbed and subbed here to the Speed Gaming channel. Several names here, and I didn't get a chance to write them down, but special thanks for all your support here for the Speed Gaming channels. Much appreciated, and that helps get some more of these tournaments on the air, not just Link to the Past Randomizer, but other ones we do on the Speed Gaming channels. Sir Link-a-Lot, give us the items in chests 1 and 2.
Chest 1, we've got 10 arrows, 2, we've got 20 rupees, so no right side yet.
All right, how about what's on the torch?
Let's see, the torch is going to have a small key.
Bye, Bob.
Sorry. Yep, sorry, Bob.
EmoSaru getting ready to go into Ice Palace. Or Death Mountain. Oh, Tower of Hera. Oh, gosh. Now heading back up there.
At 4 small key, we had a heart container and 5. 6 is 20 rupees. 7 is another small key.
Number 8, we have
Just a compass.
So we got a moment here while gamercal comes up to chest number 9, hits the switch with the boomerang. Boomerang not doing what gamercal wants it to do, starts trying to set it up, goes to the smaller rang now. Chest number 9, after this hook shot on over.
Ten more arrows.
Alright, we're coming across the randomizer room because that's the only time you're ever going to see this room is in randomizer runs. Unless somebody wants to play the game casual, in which you'll find 4 of the least interesting items in this game. Junk, 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 and junk.
Yep, well, there's our 3rd shield. 10 more arrows. 12 is 20 rupees, and 13 is a hard container.
gamercal can't avoid that shield. He avoided the other 2.
Yep, that 3rd one just plotted I'm going to stay in a chest that he has to open.
Yeah, it's plotting against him. There's the 20 rupees for EmoSaru, and time to go to Ice Palace. Been avoiding it. Now you know you have to go there. All right. Chest number 14. What does it have?
The butter sword.
$55 arrows here for gamercal, so this will not be a visit of the Armos Knights. gamercal coming across the 141.5-minute mark, and something interesting with gamercal's runs, all of them have been around that 150 mark. All right, chests 15 through 17.
Arrow upgrade, 300 rupees, and red mail.
Hello, right side.
Yep, you are forced right side, so maybe chat they didn't get their pet seed or their Aga seed. Maybe they'll get what their other wish. But you're gonna have to wait to find out.
Why are you keeping these viewers in suspense?
Not my fault. gamercal's not checking it.
Is he supposed to?
I mean, if you wanted to gamble, that tile room's the right choice. But it's only a 20% chance right now.
Well, it could soon be a 100% chance.
Yep, just 18 through 21. Powder in 18. Small key 19, 20. Oh, 21. You almost got your wish, chat.
So if you guessed chest number 21, you are the winner today. It was not 22. I do apologize. But it was 21. And nobody guessed 21 correctly. Hey, man, what's the closest without going over?
You know, I think if you're in chat, you just never guess 21 because you either want them to find it well before that or you just want to see tile room at that point. 21's like the worst just to find it in because you're just teased that you're going to get tile room.
There's EmoSaru going to get the quick medallion out of here at the Freezor room at 1 hour 43:37, so 13 minutes behind when gamercal went into go mode.
Yep, so she'll be on her way to Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, unfortunately, with gamercal picking up the butter sword, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion at this state. But EmoSaru is going to be a very scary runner in the 2-loss bracket.
Yeah, definitely going to be one of those runners that if you're 3-2, you do not want to see her as your matchup.
I think I'll cry a little if I find out that she's my matchup at 3-2, but I have to win my fifth match or win my week 5 match first.
Yep, I'm in the same boat.
A lot of great Link to the Past randomizer runs coming up here on the Speed Gaming channels this week as we go to week 5 of the tournament. First chance for some runners to get their way into the brackets as Gamercal faces off against Lambo 2. And it seems like Gamercal's fight against Lambo 2 wasn't as solid as his first fight, but still a decent fight though.
Yeah, still a good fight.
And for those who haven't been keeping up with the tournament or unsure of how the tournament works out, this is a 7-week Swiss tournament. Any runner that has 5, 6, or 7 wins, they will automatically move on to the bracket stage, which will have 128 people battling it out to find out who is the best at Link to the Past randomizer.
Yeah, but we still got 3 weeks to go. And technically it's 4 weeks is week 6 because of RPG limit break as well as Memorial Day is going to end up being 2 weeks wrapped into one.
Yeah, we've made the decision because there's a lot of runners in this tournament that will be heading to Utah for RPG limit break, and we want them to have a good time and not have to worry about their matches, nor do we want their opponents to have to stress out about finding where their opponents are. So we made week 6 turn into be 2 weeks instead of 1. All right, final chest is just a 20 rupee. Of course it is.
Yeah, of course. Which that might be nice that week 6 is the 2 weeks just because of how much hype is going to be in that week. A lot of the races, even the races that are, 0 and 5, things like that, the skill levels as we go week by week, it just gets closer and closer. So even those races are going to be really close, good races.
Well, we've got some great races coming up this week alone. I mean,
oh yeah.
We saw, what was it? 2 races had to be rescheduled because they came within our tie window in week number 4.
Yeah, there was, and one was yesterday, and they ended up being the last race of the week, and that was a close one by itself. I think it only ended up being a minute apart on their rematch.
Nice triple there by Gamercal.
Yes, very nice Ega 2 fight.
All right, we've got the fight against Ganon coming up next.
Yep, but it is going to be a silverless fight.
Silverless fight, but with the butter sword, so this is going to be no stress at all. And Gamercal falling in. Gotta be wondering where that finish is coming up, but little does Gamercal know that he's got room for error here.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for error right now.
Quickly switches on over to the lamp. He's going to need that. Butter sword makes stages 1 and 2 very, very easy.
Yep, and 3 more hits will send us to the final phase.
Yeah, the lamp here is going to be for the torch glitch coming up because without the silvers, that is important. And Gamercal, if he misses this torch glitch, is going to be worrying that he's going to lose this race because of the having to fight to keep both torches lit. And Turtle Rock turned out to be where the silvers are, so it's either at the big key chest or on Laser Bridge.
Yep. So Emo will not be getting those either, more than likely. $12 spins
to send Ganon to the death here, setting himself up for a triple cycle here. Can get one more hit on him before the torch lights out. Pretty good job there for gamercal, getting 3 hits there.
Yeah, very clean Ganon fight.
And it could be set up for another triple here. And that's that. Pretty good here. Pretty solid Ganon fight here for gamercal. Very patient, making sure the hits go where they need to. And there it is. And gamercal will defeat EmoSaru in this match and improve to 4-1. 1 win away from qualifying for the bracket stage.
Yep, everybody get your GGs in chat. And gamercal does finish with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 2 seconds.
The value as gamercal improves, and that is a tournament best here for gamercal, finishing in 150.02, beats his previous best of 150.56. But how about the times that gamercal has put up in this tournament so far? 150.02, 150.56, 152.24, and 152.58.
Yeah, very close times. So.
Emo's forfeit? Oh no.
And well, we're getting some inside information here from gamercal.
Explain to
Welcome
me,
to
how did I win
conversation.
this? I mean, hi, but how did I win this? Everything went wrong in this seed.
I'm going to guess here during the fanfare, EmoSaru found out it up, losing this race here, and has hit the forfeit button on the race. And yep, standing outside the door. No desire to finish this thing off.
I just don't understand how I didn't get crushed in this one.
She may finish this thing off for pride here. So things happened in the... And we're joined by EmoSaru as well. Hello?
Yo, how's it going?
Hey there.
So 2 things happened here with the EmoSaru. That's kind of what was the big deciding factor. 1, a later trip to Eastern really didn't impact anything. It didn't lead to anything major at that point, but it delayed the trip up to the mountain to get the mirror. The other thing was an unfortunate death in Thieves Town early on, just trying to get to the maiden.
Yeah, so I actually, what's interesting, the only reason I didn't go back in, because I mean, it was like whatever, but the only reason I didn't go back in was my original plan was to just go get the first 4 and then bail.
Yeah.
So when I took the death, I was just like, oh, whatever, like fine, I'll just leave. And then of course Titan's mitts were there.
Of course they were.
And yeah, and so I enjoyed that a great deal. I literally, it was not a delayed trip to Eastern. I literally forgot I hadn't gone to Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Literally forgot. So yeah, that was not like some crazy voodoo rando play. That was like literally forgot that I hadn't gone to Eastern for that hook shot. And when I found the mirror on Death Mountain, that was rather upsetting. Yeah, this is like a really interesting set of item placements in this seed for sure.
Yeah, this seed was basically an anti-me with the way that I've been thinking at the moment. The only thing that went right in this seed was going from Eastern, getting the hook shot. I sequence broke up to Death Mountain because I saw where the lamp was. I figured, you know, Zora was the next progression, but I expected it to only be the moon pearl to maybe get the lamp so I could get up to Death Mountain anyway. So I just thought, well, I'll circumvent that and I'll just do that bit first then. And that was great because I had the boots in about 20 minutes or something, and then
yeah, I did
very quickly after. But that was the only thing that went well in this seed.
What went through your mind when you found the mirror inside Spectacle Rock?
Oh, good. I get an excuse to do the bomb jump back. Literally, because I love that bomb jump, and it's just, I actually have an excuse to use it this time. It's like, hooray! Because I could have gotten up to Tower Hera anyway. I had the hammer plus the hookshot, so it didn't actually unlock anything on Death Mountain, but it just made it a bit more convenient. So, yeah, but it was pretty much just, right, so, okay, first off, yeah, I get to do the bomb jump. Second off, okay, so this is how you get the lamp then, because I've got everything else for it. Now it's just Moon Pearl is somewhere.
Yeah, this seed was really interesting. Yeah, I dove pod kind of early again because I forgot about Eastern. So I did the potion glitch to get through there.
Oh, you did it too? I was going to ask that. Yeah, I did that as well. I just did the whole thing. Boy. I also completely bailed Thieves Town after the first 4. So I didn't actually, that's something I never normally do, but I'd already done Tower Hera and not been able to get the item in the basement because it was, lamp locked and I didn't have that going up. So I'd already wasted time on the pendant dungeon and I just checked the pedestal and it was nothing. So I was like, okay, 2 items in here, maybe there's something, but if chances are, if it's not a blind, then I don't know, I should have just gone through it, but meh. What are you gonna do?
By the time we got to blind, we knew it either had to be there or in the Hera basement. Unfortunately, the next port of progression, we didn't know what it was going to be, but well, it turned out to be the mids.
Yeah, so I'd already this completely counted to most of my normal reading stuff. I double dipped almost every dungeon in this seed. The only ones I didn't were Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock and Ice, I guess, because I knew Quake had to be there. It was the only place I had left in the whole game. So it was a case of, all right, just get in there and just get out, get the thing. But everything else, well, no, Maya as well, I guess, because I couldn't have double dipped that by the time I got there. But Tower Hera was a double dip, Thieves Town was a double dip, Skull Woods, Eastern, Palace of Darkness, that is borderline inexcusable for the way I do these things. And I'm just thinking, how did I not just get destroyed by this then?
Well, I had the same feeling, when you hadn't done way earlier, I was like, what is going on? Like what has happened? Because with the Eastern thing, I was sitting there literally I have lost 20 minutes. That is the order of what we're talking about. I am so far behind where I should be right now without that hook shot. And so I was like, oh my God, okay, all right, I'm going to keep playing until Cal done. Cause
was it
maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But ditching out on Eastern was just a huge mistake. And then, that Thieves Town thing was just so infuriating. I was just so upset about that. That was the worst. Because then from there, everything picked up really fast, and it was no problem. But at least for me. But yeah.
Yeah, because from Thieves Town, I went up to check what Turtle Rock was because I wanted to go back and get the item in Hera Basement as well as Spike Cave. So I got the Ice Rod at that point, saw that it was Quake because of course it wasn't Bombos to do Turtle Rock. From there, went to the Maya area, so I got Samaria, went in Maya, got the bow. The only place I could go left in the game after clearing pod, super clearing pod Eastern was Ice Palace. So it was just, at the very least, I did pretty much everything except where the Titansmith were by that point. Because, Fire Rod and the Hammer Pegs, that wasn't even that bad because you were right there. It's easy enough just to do Hammer Pegs at that time. Yeah, which coming out of Thieves Town, getting Mitts on blind at the end of it, it's like, well, I guess I'd better just do this whilst I'm here then.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, that was fun. That Eastern thing, oh my, I'm seriously just laughing about it. I'm not even angry because it's so dumb that it's funny to me that happened. But yeah, I don't know, it sucks because actually I felt like I was playing pretty well otherwise, except for that Death and Thieves. But that Eastern thing was just oh my God, I'm just waiting for it.
what went wrong with me? Vitreous wasn't particularly good, but then Tempered Sword Cape anyway, so it's whatever. Trying to think what else, because I also think I played pretty well on this one, and that's probably the only reason it got to where it was. Got a couple of triples on Silverless Ganon, so that was always nice. I haven't had to do that in a while, so...
That was a solid Ganon fight for you there, gamercal. And to find out that the silver arrows had to be either on the laser bridge or in the big key chest of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that gave me a bit of pause, I will admit. I was like, oh, really? Well, there's just one more death knell in this coffin then.
And so, anyway, so you improved to 4-1, gamercal. You are 1 win away from the brackets. What's your thoughts as we get into the final 2 weeks of this part of the tournament?
Oh, pretty much every race I've done so far has been close, at the very least. Everybody is so good at this game now. But there's 2 shots at it, and yeah, it's more or less just a win and in at this point, and I feel like I can do it, at the very least. I mean, if the restream races have shown anything, it might be that, but yeah, I don't know. It depends who comes up with it. There's going to be a lot of really good people at 4-1, so we'll have to see.
I will point this out. 150.02, 150.56, 152.24, 152.58. You're consistent with your 150s.
Yeah, I just get really bad seeds in the tourney. Last week was also just over 150, but then some of that was because I fell to Ganon, because I'd already lost at that point. But yeah, I haven't had particularly great seeds during this. So I guess in one way, maybe from what I've seen, if I have Yagimoth next week, then I might actually get a faster seed. Who knows? Just saying.
And for EmoSaru, obviously dropping down to your second loss, but 2 more wins, you are in brackets. Your thoughts going into weeks 6 and 7?
I don't know. I mean, I gotta win, but I'm not like so concerned about it either way. Like, obviously, I would like to make it into brackets because I think I'm good enough to hang up in there when I don't forget about Eastern Palace. But ultimately, like truth be told, like I run rando like once a week now for my tournament race, because I've been pushing so hard on NMG. So realistically, like I can't really complain too much about taking a loss, especially to somebody who's good like Cal, who I know is a cool guy. So like, yeah, it's I can't like, I don't know, whatever. We'll see what happens, but it's gonna be cool either way.
Sir Lincoln and I both had to say that the loser of this race is going to be a very scary opponent here in the 2-loss portion of the tournament. A very, very difficult person to have to face in the 3 and 2s. And you've got the talent and you've got the skills to get yourself into brackets, EmoSaru, and you're going to be somebody who I hope, if I win this week or if Sir Lincoln wins this week, that we do not see your name come week 6.
See, on the other hand, I'm looking for Rick. Like I want that.
Well, at least get me my 4th win before we do this battle to see who makes brackets.
All right, that's fine. We can do that. You arrange it with.
I'll wave my magic finger.
I will admit that whole execution thing was weighing on my mind quite a bit during this, because I'm not that bad with stuff that way, but I don't do like the NMG stuff at all. I've done 2 runs ever. 135 is pretty much where I'm at the moment, so it's like there's a definite skill gap in that sense here. So it's like, I can't drop anything within this, and that's why I was just expecting to lose when I saw where that Titansman ended up being. It's like, well, I'm not gonna outskill here, so.
Yeah, well, fortunately, I outdumbed, so you got that one. But the yeah, I mean, like I don't know, I feel pretty good about the way I was playing, mostly because when you got dunned, like realistically, I lost a minimum of 15 minutes to the Eastern thing. With the hookshot, because that would have changed what I did quite a bit, order-wise. But and then well, that plus the Thieves Town thing. But the I think I had literally just gone into the Trinex fight when you got done.
Right. Okay.
And Trinex was my last dungeon, so so I definitely made up some time on execution, but like there's only so much that you can account for, like realistically. And I mean, I know how you play. Like you definitely play well, and I think that it's the same skill set, right? Like
Yeah.
it's the same game. Like whether you learn it one way or another, like you're good at this game. Like I like there was no point during like that's why. To be completely frank, right? Like I've had opponents in the tournament where it's like I screw up something like that, and I'm like, you know what? I can probably still make this happen. But this was definitely not one of those races. I can tell you that. So.
Well, best of luck in the last couple of weeks. I know you, again, Rick has said it, but I know you've got what it takes to get up there as well. So hope to see you in the brackets. It's the best wishes to all of us here, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully we all make it up there and we can have a big old party.
Yeah.
All right, so I've said a whole lot here. Anything that you want to add, Sir Link-a-Lot?
No, you pretty much hit on everything that I was thinking about asking.
Well, how about we give it up for both of these runners here, the fabulous runners of EmoSaru and gamercal. They're going to be beasts to watch out for come the remainder of this tournament. Be sure to follow them and get your GGs once again in for both of these runners. Good job, guys.
Thank you so much for putting the restream on at such short notice here. This was pretty much the best time that we could arrange to do this, so it kind of frees up the rest of the week. But with an 8-hour time difference here, it was more or less just, okay, if we can play now, we may as well play now. And yeah, max kudos for getting the restream up that quickly.
Yeah, same guys. Thanks a lot for that, really.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, EmoSaru and gamercal. GG to both of you. All right, Sir Link-a-Lot, let's get on out of here. We got some more races coming up here on Speed Gaming a little bit. We've got another one here on Speed Gaming 1 beginning at 8 o'clock, but there's some other races that are ongoing at this point in time. So you want to add anything or talk about those races?
Yeah, sure. As far as the other races, the two races that just started about 20 minutes ago, we got Troopster versus Jam Eagle. That's going on Speed Gaming 3 right now. The other one is Liam Atlas versus Duke Firebird on Speed Gaming 5. But then at 8 o'clock, we do have two races starting. We've got M. Kostler versus Ben Teasy coming on this channel right here, Speed Gaming 1. And then we have Solski versus Cross Product on A Link to the Past Randomizer 1. So a bunch of good races, and there's still some more that are starting later this evening as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on the schedule here, because as we get these races scheduled, they will be starting to show up. And obviously, a lot of more great races coming up here tonight and into the remainder of week number 5. So for Feasel, for OzGeek, who's been running the controls behind us, for the buttons on the tracker, for the rest of the crew here at Speed Gaming, and for Sir Link-a-Lot, I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us here for Link to the Past Randomizer. Sir Link-a-Lot, you will have the final word.
All right, same thing. Just shout out to everybody working behind the scenes to make this tournament work. Thank you to OzGeek for tracking for us, and then thank you to Adirondack Rick for co-commentating with me.
Absolutely. Finally, we got to do one together. I enjoyed it.
Yep, same here.